Hi, everybody. Welcome to your Colorado Home Advocate Report with your Colorado Home Advocate, Don Betts. How are you, Don?
Good today. Just had
Good
a
today.
wonderful evening at Red Rocks watching a concert last night.
Uh, don't get me started. It's still on a bucket list completely. And then I found out, for all you Colorado people who are not like me, they did a South Park reunion where
Yes.
the existing members of Rush showed up for the first time since the drummer's death. I know. I was so heartbroken to know that that actually happened at Red Rocks and I didn't go. That would have been a highlight moment of my
Well,
life.
and they did a lottery system back in the spring, so you had to put your name in the hat to be able to buy a ticket. And of course, my daughter and I are big fans, so we we I put it in. We didn't get it, so we would have been there if we would have
uh, Heartbreaking.
made
It
the
was
cut.
when I saw all the clips, I went, oh my gosh. I was at the last show for Rush. They got back together for one show, plus all the South Park stuff. Phenomenal evening. I love Red Rocks. It's dating all the way back to the U2 thing live at Red Rocks. It's still a bucket list, Don. Don't think I'm not coming out there. That's going to happen before it's still going
It
down. It's still going down. It's still a play, as they say. If you need
it's
any help with real estate, please call Don. I can't think of anybody who cares more about people. If you haven't watched our previous videos, please sign up, send Don an email. He'll send it to me. I'll make sure you get contacted, get all of our stuff. Just type in Home Advocates. You can find Don's information. You can find my information. We're here to help you. It's 100% free. Our information is always free. We're not doing anything other than educating you and the public. With that said, Don, let's talk about the hot topics. First of all, this past week, everybody seems to be Googling about a housing crash. What's the talk around the water cooler, as they say, and with people on the street?
well, as Patrick Swayze would say, and opinions vary. I see the mortgage brokers are typically rah rah. There's no chance the price is going down. Uh, buy, and but there is definitely an undercurrent of anxiety about what's going to happen here over the next few months. The market has definitely topped out, and the next month or two will show us whether there's a real trend downward. And I believe that we will see that. I predict that we will see not a crash, but I think we're going to see prices go
Cooling.
down a
I
bit.
like the word cooling for some markets.
Yeah,
I mean, if we were talking about South Florida, I'd go, yeah, you can still buy and wait it out. I don't know. They have gold in South Florida. I don't know what's happening there. But I thought that way in the early aughts with Phoenix. Then I thought that about Austin. There are just some right? So what people say is always the same, especially real estate agents. It's market to market. I completely agree. It is market to market, but that's not how CNN as compared to Fox see it. It's one side against the other, and it influences the other and the public perception. And that is my greatest fear, which takes us to another very big story this week of you had a buying unit through the pandemic of the, for a lack of a better term, I think they're Gen Zs, don't quote me, but the 29 to 35-year-old crowd that bought in abundance and taking advantage of those low interest rates. Now we're seeing that they're pressing out their credit. Has supply chain and credit push affected Colorado the same way? Are people pushing out their credit?
that's a good question. The clients that many of the clients that I've had over the last year have been definitely in that generation, and typically they're dual income, no kids, young couples, so they qualify terrifically for what they bought. So I don't think there's much happening for those people that did buy, even though they might have bought near the top, because the job market is so strong in Denver that it's, there's nobody really losing jobs. Our
Yeah, that
participation
was
rate is good, and new jobs will keep coming in. So we're bucking the trend, and that leads back to what you were saying, is that um, the national news looks at the process nationally,
yeah.
and here in Colorado and Denver Metro specifically, it's the job market is sustaining, um, and we don't see, I, like I said, there's anxiety, but we don't see any real effect in that way.
No, that's
At the
actually
same
good,
time,
right? So you have a
yeah, at the
healthy
same
market
time,
that's just adjusting.
at the
And
same
that's the way
time,
it should be. That's, well, what the Fed wants is a healthy adjustment from everything that they're doing. And Colorado's, from what you're telling me, it sounds like it. My question would be, how are rents going? Is it still more effective to buy? We've got fluctuating interest rates. I still think when you're talking about a Denver metro, and you've got strong job, it sounds like it's better to buy still than rent.
yes, if you have a long-term view, if you're thinking of, if you're going to move in 2 years, it's probably not. But if you're going to move in 5 to 7 years, it's a good idea. One of the other things that's happening is we continue to have a lot of apartment construction. There's lots of new units coming on the market to help with the housing demand. And of course, they're not cheap. But the job market in Denver Metro again is good. Now, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, some of these other towns are not are not that way. Even Boulder and Fort Collins are not as hot as Denver in terms of the job market. So it's very localized.
I can't stress this enough. If you're working with somebody in real estate, I don't know them. I'm not trying to disparage them, but I'm going to say this. If you say you're interested in buying or selling and they go, great, let's get on that, instead of having a conversation like Don would have long before we get to the point of signing contracts, then you're with the wrong person. I'm just being honest. There are too many people who are worried about the sale on either direction. Don has pledged this. I've pledged this. All of my advocates have pledged this. We want you to have good information, good, bad, or indifferent, because that's what defines us as an organization. Just type in home advocates and find Don's information. Find out what's best for you. Anything you'd like to add for this week, Don?
That's good. Let's just follow the data and see where it goes. And like I said, there's lots of action that pushes and pulls on this real estate market. You have to keep up with it.